Hello friends, welcome back. So in the previous video we saw the basic understanding on feature and what all we are going to cover in this course of feature engineering that we all saw. So in today's video we are going to see that how we handle the missing data. Basically whenever you get the data to train your model, it may be that some of the data is missing for few of the rows. Some of the column values for any of the rows might be missing, right? So it may be the data which has been missing, maybe of some importance, right? The data could be of some importance, the data could be of no importance at all. So if the data is of no importance for you, then in that case, that particular feature, you can decide whether that particular feature itself is a redundant feature. If so, then you need to remove that feature. So you can decide to remove that feature altogether, or you can say that particular column from the data altogether from your data set. So it will not happen every time that every time you find some kind of feature which is which is not useful. If the data is missing, then you need to predict some data at that place, or you may need to put some value in there. Those could be the situations. But in case there are no such situation, you may decide that yes, this particular feature is of no use for me. I just need to remove it. So you can remove it. You can just spruce that particular feature out. Okay. So that you can do. But before we move into handling the missing values, we must need to understand the two types of variables that we are going to discuss. Okay. So let me tell you that this is not available anywhere that you are able to see here on your screen. This is not available anywhere on the internet. This is totally prepared by me. These notes have been prepared by me only based on the understanding, based on the study I have done. I have done it from the various sources. Like somewhere I have also used the also took the help of AI as well to understand few of the concepts. So I have just consolidated all those concepts that you must need to know if you are moving ahead into the ahead in machine learning or deep diving into the machine learning concepts. So you will not find these things anywhere, but yeah, whatever I have collected after my efforts, I have tried to collect all the information in the simplest possible manner. Okay. So moving ahead, in today's video, we are going to discuss about the two types of two type of variables. One is observed variable and the other one is unobserved variable. So in this video, we are going to understand these two types of variables. What does they mean? So first, let us discuss about the observed variables. So the observed variables are the variables that are measured, collected, and available in the data set. But what they look like? These variables are typically, you can understand those columns in your table. If you might have seen the database table. So all the columns in the database tables, they are just the attributes for that particular table. They are just the attribute for that particular entity about which all the data has been stored in your table, right? So those columns or those features, you can say, they are directly stored and they are very much the raw data. You don't have any inference from that data. Once you read that data, once you see that data, then you can take the inference from that data. You can find out, you can analyze the data and you can find out some kind of a specific result from that data. You can predict something or you can make an analysis, right? Based on the data, you can find some analysis. So whatever you get after the analysis or before analyzing, whatever you, find out from your experience, that all is known as unobserved variable, and whatever is available to you in the form of various database columns, which is collected and measured, that is all known as the observed variables. And it's very simple to understand. Let me show you here. So one is demographic variable, like age, sex, income. These things you can collect. Behavioral variables like smoking status, is someone smoking or not, or exercise frequency. Clinical variables like blood pressure, cholesterol levels, etc. And then survey responses like what is the attitude, what are the opinions, where he is opinionated, right? So all these are the different kind of variables which can be measured, collected, and available, right, in the various data sets. So these are, kind of structured information about any particular entity, right? So whatever is collected under these variables, these variables are known as the observed variables. And whatever you take as an inference, as a after the analysis, whatever you find, whatever features you find after the analysis, that feature is known as the observed variable, or the unobserved variables, or the unobserved feature. So let us see the unobserved variables, right? So the unobserved variables, also known as the latent variables, these are also known as the latent variables. Let me tell you. So the unobserved variables, which are also known as the latent variables, are those variables that are not directly measured or collected, but may influence the observed data. I hope you are getting this point. These variables can be underlying psychological or social factors like motivation, personality traits, etc., and environmental factors like socioeconomic status, access to healthcare. They may be related to the context, right? But I'm just giving you an example here. They must need to be related to some context. But here, just for the sake of an example, I'm giving you this, right? So before you take, when you are analyzing your data, when you are getting some missing value, or when you are getting all the values in your data set, before starting analysis on that, you can also get some reference. You can get some reference from your own previous experience, like what kind of data I have got, what should be missing here, why people have not given me some of the features, why not all the columns that I was expecting is available. So all those things you can understand, right, from the unobserved variables. What are those unobserved variables that you can imagine? So socioeconomic status, like if someone don't want to tell like whether he is or she is suffering from a certain disease or not, it may be because of this because of his social his social because of his social demand. Like it may be that his social demand in his mind is that I should not go with that, right? If I go with that, then my social demand come down, maybe people will not treat me well, right? So those kind of factors are the unobserved variables, and this is the kind of unobserved variables which let you know that how it is influencing the data that is available to you, that is the observed variables, right? So unobserved variables are directly impacting or indirectly impacting your observed variables values. Okay, for example, in the same depression study, I mean, this has been studied in the next thing, but yeah, I have just written here. So somewhere I have written this note, so that's why it has been written here. So just understand few of the factors or few of the variables which are unobserved variables when we are discussing the behavior of someone, and we have collected the data for few of the people to understand their behavior, right? Like someone might be hiding some data because of some kind of childhood trauma, or some kind of social support network, okay, or some kind of genetic predisposition. So all these things may be related to the related to the unobserved variables, which due to which we have got the information which is very limited, or which is limited to some extent when we have got the observed variables. So unobserved variables are playing a role uh, to decide the observed variable values. Okay, whatever will be there in the observed variables, that is decided by the unobserved variable sometimes, right? So that is why the data analysis is totally dependent on the observed and unobserved variables understanding, right? So this distinction between observed and unobserved variable is crucial when dealing with the missing data, right? Because when the data is missing, with the help of understanding of the unobserved variables and with the observed variables available to you, you will be able to understand, based on your domain experience, based on your social experience, you will be able to understand why that particular value is missing, right, in the observed set of variables. Okay, so there are three different kinds of missing data. One is missing completely at random, other one is missing at random, the other one is missing not at randoms, right? So these we are going to discuss in the next video. But yeah, just you need to understand these concepts before you move ahead into the journey of the feature engineering. And if you want to understand it, in a toto, right? In toto, if you want to understand these feature engineering concepts, you must need to understand how to handle the missing data and what is the observed and unobserved variable. Okay. Okay, so strategies to account for unobserved variables. So there are few strategies that how you can account for the unobserved variables. So first one is collect additional data on potential unobserved variables. right? You can collect additional data based on your experience. You can go for the domain knowledge, and based on that domain knowledge, based on your social experience, based on your domain experience, you can start collecting that data which has not been provided to you as part of the observed variables. Okay, use proxy variables or indirect measures, right? I hope you're understanding. Proxy variables may be a kind of word which could be looking like a jargon for you, but yeah, after this, indirect measures, with this word, with this phrase, you should be able to understand it, what I'm talking about. So the third one is employ sensitivity analysis to test assumptions, and then use advanced statistical methods like structural equation modeling. All these we are going to discuss one by one in the coming videos. So keep patience, and be with me in the coming videos. And in the next video, we are going to discuss like what are the different types of missing values and what is their understanding, how you make an understanding about them, and then we will discuss how to deal with them. Okay, so these three we are going to discuss in the next video, which are the missing values, the type of missing values. Thank you.